Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be annoying bitchy girly measures. Well, I've got an email here from a woman, and she details basically what she learned by being involved with this guy who in essence acted like a pussy for about the better part of 10 years. And she details what she really didn't understand, why she felt the way she did until she came across my work. And so I got a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we're going to go through his email. And the quote says, "When a man does not stand up for his woman or himself, can't or won't make critical decisions, or is incapable of leading the relationship and courtship, a woman will not feel safe and comfortable with him. She will not trust his masculine core. When this happens, the average woman will respond with annoying, bitchy, girly measures to get him to step up and be a better man. It's a test of his strength. It's a call for him to become a greater version of himself. If he fails, eventually she will leave the relationship. A man who does not act like a man will force his woman to become the man in the relationship. She will resent this because masculine energy is not her natural essence. If he steps up and takes care of business, her storms will calm and she will become sweet and loving again." So it's interesting. There's a lot of dynamics that are going on here in her story with how this guy's showing up and how he's pulled in a lot of different directions. And he's obvious he just was not a very centered guy, and he made her miserable for about a better part of a decade. And it wasn't until after the relationship ended that she obviously found out about my work, like a lot of people that come to me because things are fucked up or have gone sideways and are trying to figure out what the hell happened. She says, "Hey Corey, this is never better said. I was in a relationship with a man who put his kids, his ex, his mommy, his job, and everything before me. He actually left me after he lied to me. His leaving turned out well for me. I just wish I hadn't wasted 10 years. I back your statement 100%. I will say this for myself. I've been wrongfully accused of being tough to handle because I'm a 42-year-old chick who has direction, purpose, and I know who I am." Guys that are not centered and don't understand women, eventually, the reason they say a woman is tough to handle, because they don't know how to handle her. They don't know how to deal with a woman who is successful, has her shit together, and knows what she wants. And if she constantly becomes bitchy or she's constantly testing him, eventually he gets to the point where he just can't handle it. He doesn't know what to do. And he starts to feel like he's unsuccessful at making her happy. And eventually he's going to leave the relationship. And that's obviously what she did. She eventually drove him to the point where he couldn't take it anymore. And therefore he ended up dumping her. She says, "But I will always give the control to the man in my relationship," and she puts in big bold letters, "until he proves he cannot handle or be trusted with that control." You've probably heard me say a number of times, women don't want control in the relationship. Once that happens, I take the reins, and in some form or fashion, I push him off the stagecoach. I'm not talking about where to eat dinner, especially when I make a suggestion. I'm talking about men making up their minds on big stuff or sticking up for their woman. She wants the guys, just like most women, they want the men to be the leaders. They want the men to make the decisions. They want the men to lead where the relationship goes. And when they don't do it, they don't like it. They'll put up with it for a period of time under normal circumstances, but when it goes on and on and on, eventually most women are going to leave. When I see a man can't do what he's supposed to do, I'm done. I will implement, that's what she says, I will implement annoying, bitchy, girly measures to prove the point, or I just drop them. In other words, she's learned her lesson. She's not going to stick around for 10 years because now she knows how to recognize a guy whose balls have not dropped yet, and therefore she dumps him instead of waiting for him to grow a set and actually act like a man. Men are supposed to schedule dates. Men are supposed to pursue women, but women should reciprocate when he's initiated. It's just like I talked about in the video that I did yesterday. That particular woman said, that it's been 6 years since she's pursued a man. It's been 6 years since she came across a guy that knew how to be a man to the point where she would actually pursue him. And she's the type of woman that says, I don't pursue guys, I don't do it. And that's her truth, because most of the guys are such pussies, she never felt safe and comfortable enough with them to actually pursue. And therefore, when she came across a guy who actually acted like an alpha male, all the things that she claimed she was not going to do or doesn't do went right out the fucking window, and she acted naturally, instinctively, innately, like all women will respond to masculine strength, and that is they'll do most of the calling, texting, and pursuing. Even women who say they won't do it. Because there's very few guys that know how to apply the things that I talk about in my book. This is why guys that learn this stuff, they have no competition. You don't have to worry about anybody ripping off your fucking girl. Think about it. Does James Bond get dumped? That doesn't happen. She continues on, men are supposed to put their woman before their mommy and ex-wife, unless it's kid-related, of course. I wasted 10 years with an indecisive, narcissistic bullshit artist, and it took him dropping me for me to wake up. I appreciate what you're doing here with your advice. It really helped me understand why I wouldn't move in or move on with him, and why I never could put my finger on why he wasn't right for me. I never understood why the asshole never had a finish line. I do now through your videos. I'm happy I went through that shit. Now I know what to look for and run from. Truly, I thank you. Well, thank you for sharing that from a woman's perspective. And it sucks that it took you 10 years for the truth to really sink in, but at least now you know. And that's the beauty about struggle in life. That's the beauty about pain. That's the beauty of experiencing difficult times. Those things happen in life to teach us a lesson, to humble us, and to cause us to take a step back and realize, you know what? Maybe the way I've been approaching things is really not the best way to go about it. Maybe there's a better, more effective, more efficient way that I can do things. And when we struggle in life, when we're beating our head against the wall, when things aren't going well and they're not effortlessly falling into place, there is a reason for that. Pay attention to that. It's like, as I say, pain is weakness leaving the body. Pain is life's way of getting our attention. Pain and struggle and difficulty and challenges is life's way of saying, you know what? The way you're going about things, there's a much better way out there if you'll just seek it and pursue it and keep searching. Because the struggle is there to teach you that maybe you need to go in another direction. That's definitely something to think about. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen, and follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.